Hey there, welcome. We are today talking about mommy guilt with my friend Alysia Lyons, who is a coach. We coach together. We're in the same group of coaches. And one day she and I were talking, and I made this discovery that she was writing this incredible book about mommy guilt. And immediately I was like, oh my gosh, mommy guilt, I can so relate. And she was like, oh, good, you'll be a great test subject. So since then, we've been talking about it. And every time I feel my mommy guilt come up, I think about Alysia and I think, gosh, this is be a good thing for she and I to coach around. I should, write this down to share with her because it's pretty amazing how often it comes to me. So anyway, Alysia, I'm so glad to be doing this. I thought this would be a fun thing to do. I didn't do my Friday focus, which I normally do on Fridays. And I thought, gosh, I'd love to do something to make up for it. And there's nothing better than talking about mommy guilt. So one of the first question I wanted to ask you, which I think would help everybody watching, is tell us a little bit about what is mommy guilt. I mean, it's definitely a thing. We hear about it all the time, but are we really aware of what it is and how it may be affecting us? So let us know.
I don't think people really realize the magnitude of mommy guilt. Like a really common one is good moms stay home with their kids, and so working moms really feel like, well, I can't be a good mom because I'm at home. I have to work, and so the reality is that in our world today, that a lot of moms don't get the choice, and some moms don't even want to stay home with their kids. Like we have the choice now, but we have a choice and we still feel guilty about it. So so what guilt in general is that we have these rules that we have for what a good person does. And so it also goes into the different roles that we have in our life. So, a good employee does this, and a good mom does this, and a good daughter does this. So when we have these rules of what these good people do and we violate the rule, we have to be punished. And so that's where the guilt comes in. And mommy guilt especially comes from, I think, we care so much about these little creatures that we created. And like, I'm getting a little misty-eyed thinking about like how much I love my son. Um, and we just want what's best for them. And when something happens that we think is not what was best for them, we create the guilt.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, I feel the same emotions. I feel it just thinking about, as you're describing that, thinking about my kids and just some of the things that they went through and stuff, and just how guilty I felt because I couldn't fix it or save them or make it better all the time. And just letting them have their own experience was really hard, watching them suffer. Now, I'm starting to understand that I need to let go. I probably could have let go of some of that too. And, the guilt around it all, but yeah, it's really powerful. Well, as we're feeling this, we're feeling guilty. We are noticing it coming up all the time, recognizing that we feel like we should be doing something different or we should be doing something better. What are some things that you would recommend to some of your clients who are having this guilt? How would you tell them to work with it, to kind of reframe it, to kind of alleviate some of the stress around it and the story?
So one thing is that we are all doing the best that we can do with the tools and resources that we have at the time. And so the other thing that kind of creates guilt is as we get new tools and resources and our situation change, we look back on the person that we used to do and we judge that person for not having the knowledge that we have now. When the reality is we needed to go through that situation to become this person. So I would say grace, having grace with yourself, compassion with yourself, forgiveness with yourself is step number one. And understanding that I always say no mom who is a normal person
Are
choose
any of us normal?
right,
But
well, you know,
story, that's
choose
for another day.
so, you know, there's extreme moms who hurt their children on purpose. But I'm not talking about those moms.
Yeah,
There's,
exactly.
I'm talking about the rest of us that love our children and want the best for our children. Those of us that we don't purposefully think, you know, this thing is going to hurt my kid, but I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. If you have the conscious awareness that something's going to hurt your child, if you can avoid it, you're going to avoid it.
Yeah.
So having that awareness that we're doing the best that we can with the tools and resources we have at the time, and
Yeah.
give yourself grace and compassion, I think is step number one.
Yeah, I love that. So
You know,
important.
step number two is look at the specific rule that you feel was violated and come up with the exception to the rule, because there's an exception to every rule. Even in extreme cases, you know, there's an exception for murder. If someone is going to kill you or kill someone near you, you are legally allowed to stop that person by killing that person, right?
Mm.
An exception to every rule. My cat is attacking me. He wants to be part of the conversation.
I know, mine's over here going crazy too.
So, you know, what's the exception to the good mom rule that you broke? You know, if for the example I gave before, good moms stay at home with their kids, that's one of the chapters in my book. Well, good moms stay at home with their kids except when they can't or they don't want to. You know, that's a generic one. Like you it's better if you know, talk with a coach and figure out what your specific rule is and
Yeah.
come up with the exception. But if you can, you know, that's a good foundation for it.
Yeah.
But that good moms don't, except when.
Yeah, when they need to make money to feed their children. I mean, there's so
Absolutely.
many things. It's like, yeah, you know, you can't because you've got something bigger, you know, there's a bigger need there in order to be there and be present for your kid or to provide or whatever.
Mhm.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things. Now, that's one of the tools that we're using when we're coaching each other. And I love it. It really has helped me a lot just in reframing, you know, in everything, but especially around this good mom situation.
Mhm. And the reason that I started writing the book was, you know, I was holding on to some guilt that I wasn't even aware of. I was my son and I were in a situation where a babysitter was inappropriate with him, and there was no justice in the situation. He still remembers her. He still remembers something happening, and it was killing me anytime it would come up, and it started to come up more frequently. And so I would get really agitated and irritated about the situation and being questioned about it. And I was like, there's something going on here. Like, this is not how I normally react to questions, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I thought, you know, maybe I have some guilt around that. And so I brought it up in a workshop that we did, and we did this this tool of good moms don't, except when. And I can't even begin to describe to you, like, not only the weight that was lifted from my shoulders, but over the last, I guess this is about 6 months now, the relationship that I have with my son has changed, has improved. I feel more connected because what I realized I was doing was thinking about him resenting me in the future for not protecting him,
Yeah.
because moms protect their kids,
Yeah.
right? And I was just imagining, you know, this kid that my world revolves around hating me and resenting me.
Yeah.
And I knew that like that would just crush me. And so I put up protection. And it's just like sitting on a couch with plastic on it. Like you're on the couch, but you're not like sinking into it because there's this protective layer. And that's really the relationship that I was having with my son. And since letting go of the guilt, I've been able to let go of that protection layer too.
Wow. And I'm sure he senses that and feels the difference as well. You know, just it's funny how they're such little sponges. They feel and they know and they pick up when we feel guilty, and, you know, they want to make it right. So like you making that shift for yourself really had a huge impact. I mean, not only obviously it would just have a huge impact because you would become closer, but you know, energetically, I'm sure that, you know, it's really brought you both so much closer together and helped to release his stress around this subject and just, you know, letting go of what burden he might be carrying around it as well. So that's beautiful. That's a beautiful story.
Well, and how many times have you tried to protect against something and that very thing happened?
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what I was doing, that was the path that was going down. Separating myself from him was going to create that thing that I was afraid of.
Yeah.
So I'm so thankful for this work that we're in
Yeah.
And this breakthrough, because, you know, like I also have a passion for moms because I have a mom that I love dearly, and I want all moms to be happy. And when you have this guilt, your happiness level is can't be at the height that it would be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be down here. Whoa, change
I
the
know. It's
lighting
interesting
of
how
the
it
camera.
changes. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. The more you put like something white up into that, I saw Chalene Johnson do that once to show you put like a white sweater around your jacket and like your whole face would light up. It's crazy.
Interesting. Good to know for next time.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so good. You know, I love this. And, you know, I want to make sure that we keep this to a minimum, but, you know, people can reach out to you and I will tag you on this. Just make sure that you've liked the Kristen Tapman coaching page so that I can tag you. But, you know, reach out. I want people to reach out to you if they have some guilt, if they want to work around it, because I think that this mommy guilt, a lot of us don't even know we're experiencing it. We don't even know what we're going through, but being able to just reframe it and, you know, recognizing good moms don't do this, except and coming up with your own exception. That's the key. That's so important. I mean, I love this, what you said. It's like, you know that we're all doing our best. We're doing the best that we can with what we have and the awareness that we're at in this place in life right now along our journey. And then, you know, give yourself grace and just compassion and recognize that, you know, as you are doing the best that you can, you know that you gosh, you know, we love our children more than anything. We would do anything for them. So there's no reason to beat ourselves up that we've done something wrong or we haven't been good enough, because we are doing the best. We would give the shirts off our backs. We would do anything for our kids. So, you know, letting go and stop beating ourselves up that way. And then the final one I love, you know, just this: good moms don't accept when, and just finish the sentence. But I think, you know, people could reach out to you, and I would invite them to do that if any moms are going through any guilt, because I think that you would be really good to help them with a breakthrough in that area.
Absolutely. And a good way to test if you're feeling guilty is I've been asking moms, do you ever feel like a bad mom?
Yeah.
And the answer is yes, you have some guilt there.
Yes. I love it. I'm going to write that down.
Yeah. So my book I'm planning on releasing it in May this year. And I have a personal development blog that I write called Makeup with the Mirror. And this year's focus is really on self-love. And, you know, because loving love the person that needs to love you, it's a you job, you know. It's your job. It's not other people's job, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're not loving yourself, you're not gonna feel anybody loving you as fully as you could. So
yeah, I agree. And, you know, I think today's my birthday, and you know that. And I
And happy
used to,
birthday.
yeah, thank you. I used to always make my birthday, it was always a sad day. It was January, it was cold, it was snowy. And people would ask what I wanted. And I had such a hard time letting people do for me. They'd be like, oh, I'm good, don't worry about me. But then deep down inside, I'd be like, gosh, I really wish that something special was happening. But I wasn't even realizing that I was shutting it down. And so it's like that whole worthiness issue of, you know, oh, I don't want people to fuss over me. Let's all just take care of you. Let's make sure you're all good. Then we'll think about me. And then I wouldn't get thought of. Or people would just give up. Like, well, how can I do anything for your birthday? You make it hard. And, and one of the things that I've learned about self-love is like every year now I plan my birthday out a couple weeks beforehand and I book myself appointments. I'm getting a massage. I'm getting my nails done. I'm having dinner and a movie with a friend, with my daughter. And it's great. And I actually plan it all week, but it's about self-love. It's about, what do I need? Because I'm the only one that's really going to fill that. Looking outside of myself for everybody else to fill that void is not the answer. It's all about being in here. So I'm with you, girl. Like this year is about self-love, making myself a priority, because once I fill my tank up with my own self-love, the rest of it's gravy. It's all bonus.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I love
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, girl. Thanks for being here today. I'm glad we were able to do this.
Absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, good. All right, well, maybe we'll do it again. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and save this, and then we'll post it up to social media.
Perfect.
Okay, have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you.